And Mr. President made it very clear in his broadcast. And if the main issue is that of maintaining law and order in the state, I think for any meaningful activities to take place in Rivers State, that is the utmost task that I have, to work together with all other stakeholders to ensure that we bring peace, order, and security and stability to the people and government of Rivers State and Nigeria at large.
Senate to consider emergency proclamation on Rivers Thursday. And in another development, the motion on that was listed in the order paper among items for consideration this Wednesday, but it was stepped down to 3 p.m. Senate later stepped it down alongside other items for consideration to the next legislative day, in line with constitutional provision. Specifically, Section 305, the proclamation of state of emergency requires approval of the Senate and House of Representatives by 2/3 majority. The House of Representatives is yet to deliberate on the presidential proclamation of the state of emergency in Rivers State as expected. Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu presided over Wednesday's plenary, where a number of motions and bills were considered. There was, however, no mention of any communication from the President as expected.
That discretionary power of Mr. President and the leadership of the House has been exercised, at the course of today's plenary. So tomorrow, hopefully, when the issue is brought before the Parliament, then at that point, we'll take a decision as a Parliament, and I will be able to come back to you again to confirm some of the developments. But for now, Parliament is in perfect harmony, working and synchronizing harmoniously in the overall interest of the mass of our country.
Bear it in mind that before you can make that consideration, the Parliament must be properly constituted with 2/3 majority, which is about 240 something like that. But anything below that will be like a queue. It will not work.
The House, however, passed resolutions on the need to beef up security in Kebbi and Plateau states, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, to combat criminal activities.
We are in a terrible situation in Plateau, Mr. Speaker. Let the security agencies help the situation. The bush, the forest, that thick forests that have become a safe haven to bandits, to kidnappers, need to become.
Also worried that the lack of adequate security patrol vehicles and gadgets in the criminal black spots within the FCT has led to an increased armed robbery, targeted attacks, assassinations, kidnapping, and terrorism.
Away from the National Assembly, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi SAN has received the report on arbitrary detention of suspects at correctional centers in Nigeria. Judiciary correspondent Austin Ayeboye reports that the issues surrounding overcrowding of those awaiting trials still form part of the report.
Successive governments in Nigeria have tried to address the problem associated with the congestion of the correctional centers across the country, with the problem still persisting. This is why the Ministry of Justice still constituted a working group to take an overview of the situation with specific terms of reference. And after they undertook a physical visit to the correctional centers across the country and interacted with inmates, the working group came up with this report. Some of the issues highlighted from the report include cases of overcrowding of inmates, unnecessary long detention without trial, many inmates having no access to legal representation, and others battling with illnesses.
The working group recommends that the Honorable Attorney General convenes a meeting of the body of Attorneys General with a view to achieving a coordinated response between federal and state governments on the legal status of all inmates, including but not limited to those who have overstayed without trial.
The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice commended the group, saying the report is part of ongoing reform in the justice sector in line with the international conventions and protocols which Nigeria is a signatory to.
The objective of these reforms is to provide suitable solutions to the issue of inmates spending unreasonable period in detention, enhancing conditions in correctional centers, and facilitating treatment, rehabilitation, and reintegration of inmates.
He said addressing the challenges raised in the report will require collaboration with the sub-national government. In Abuja, Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
It is time for Africa to unite and play its required role in becoming a modern maritime shipping nation globally through providing accurate data evidence to drive shipping decarbonization in Africa. Vivian Ezeadife reports that a summit to that effect was a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Maritime and Blue Economy and the UCL Energy Institute and the Bartlett School of Energy, Environment and Resources, London.
In terms of the transition, since we will need to transit very well.
The panel session at the African Strategic Summit on Shipping Decarbonization highlighted the importance of political will, information research, economic benefits, and accurate data presentation in negotiations with global communities.
People that conducted the moderation, there were two of them, even though you saw one, they showed us that the art and skill of negotiation is not just one thing, it is multidimensional.
The organizers' hope is they will have access to relevant shipping data. With the kind of data, they will be able to analyze it and be able to tell that what will be the impact of the measures that will be put in place on the economies of Africa, especially from the shipping perspective.
Countries. So the countries within IMO, they are negotiating on how to make the environment better. Now, the kind of hard look the developed country has about Africa is what they want to change. That we are not that backward and we are looking for a way to make things work and do well.
The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, represented by the DG of NIMASA, Dr. Dayo Moberiola, emphasized Africans' potential in the maritime industry and the need for the continent to be proactive in addressing shipping decarbonization while raising awareness about shipping decarbonization in Nigeria.
If we do not key in now, the damage that will be left behind for us will just be too much, and the cost, and 10 years time, 20 years time, 30 years time will be much more than what we should put into it now.
As the world moves towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions, Africa is expected to play a significant role in the transition to low carbon shipping. With its vast natural resources and growing economy, the continent is well positioned to drive innovation and growth in the maritime industry. Vivian Ezeadife, NTA News.
As the world intensifies efforts to transition to renewable energy, China continues to make significant strides in harnessing solar power. One of its groundbreaking projects is the Shuanghan Donghuan 100 megawatts concentrated solar power plant located in the heart of the Gobi Desert. Correspondent Patricia Isami Luba takes a closer look at how this facility operates, its technological innovations, and what lessons Nigeria and other African nations can learn from this ambitious energy initiative.
Nestled in the expansive Gobi Desert in China's Guangsu province, the Shuanghan Donghuan concentrated solar power plant stands as a testament to China's commitment to renewable energy, with a capacity of 100 megawatts, and the facility is powered by over 12,000 mirrors that tracks the sun, having concentrated sunlight onto a central molten salt tower. Mr. Lu Fenggu explains how the molten salt tower system works, highlighting its ability to store energy and generate electricity even at night. This innovative storage system ensures a steady electricity supply even during periods of low sunlight, making it one of the most advanced solar power stations in the world. Engineers in the control room are set to monitor the system round the clock, optimizing performance and efficiency. While China continues to expand its renewable energy footprint globally, I inquired about potential collaborations with Africa.
We haven't any plan with Nigeria, but we have some cooperation and contact with Botswana in Africa. First of all, it's new energy. It's clear energy. It's ecological. It uses solar energy. Second, it's about storage of heat. It's very environmental friendly.
Nonetheless, with Nigeria seeking sustainable energy solutions to meet its growing electricity demand, projects like this could offer valuable insights into large-scale solar energy implementation. So, as China pushes forward with its green energy agenda, the Shunghang-Donghang plant remains a shining example of innovation and commitment to sustainability. The question remains, could Nigeria tap into similar technology to bridge its energy gap? The answer is a possible yes. Nigeria has significant solar energy potential, that is the sun, in a reasonable scale. So, large-scale projects like the Shunghang-Donghang 100 megawatts concentrated solar power plant, which is the CSP, highlights the importance of investment, technology, and policy support. The conversation on renewable energy remains crucial as the country explores diverse solutions for a stable and sustainable power supply. From Beijing, China, Patricia Esami Luba.
The news desk at 6 is reaching you live on NTA News 24. We have more reports after the break.
Celebrate Ramadan with Bafi and enjoy up to 40% off on selected products from living room, dining room, bedroom, and royal sets. Pay less, save more, and refresh your home for iftar gatherings and cherished moments with family and friends. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online to enjoy our exclusive Ramadan sale. Let's make this Ramadan unforgettable.
Thanks for staying. Resource persons at the first quarter 2025 Ministerial Servicom Committee retreat want nodal, focal and principal officers from various health institutions in Nigeria to recognize that the citizens are the ultimate judges of their performances, hence the need for them to adopt a customer-centric approach to service delivery. Chinenye Nwoye was at the National Hospital Abuja, venue of the retreat, which had as its theme enhancing service excellence for better health care.
Gathered in this hall are nodal, focal, and principal officers from various health institutions in Nigeria. They are here to reflect on their collective mission of delivering exceptional healthcare services to the nation. These key stakeholders indeed play a pivotal role in shaping the quality of care on those who depend on them, and so they are expected to create a healthcare system that is not only effective but responsive to the needs of all Nigerians.
What we are here to do is to tell you that in this hospital, in your hospital, you run government business. Business of saving lives, business of touching lives, business of doing exactly what government has said you should do.
We need to tailor our solutions customized to those special environments, and probably even customize it according to the individual or the client that comes to us.
Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, represented, believes that the theme of the retreat underscores the shared commitment of the participants to service excellence that goes beyond mere efficiency to encompass empathy and innovation.
Your dedication to ensuring that Servicom principle is an essential part of our system in dealing with the service takers are truly commendable.
We are synonymous to service delivery, especially looking at the pedigree of the crop of management we have before us.
It is hoped that at the end of the two-day event, the participants will be better equipped with the needed tools to elevate healthcare system in Nigeria. In Abuja, Chinenye Nwoye, NTA News.
And still on health, the federal government has again approved for the disbursement of 32 billion naira in adherence to Nigeria's basic healthcare provision funds guidelines, a supportive program for the expansion of primary healthcare services to ensure equitable access to healthcare by all Nigerians, especially women and children, including ambulances schemes and disease control. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pati, who revealed this at the 10th Ministerial Oversight Committee meeting 2025 in Abuja, says the commitment on prioritizing healthcare financing of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda on health is on course.
The federal government is very committed to ensuring that Nigerians, particularly those who are afflicted by diseases like HIV, TB and malaria, continue to receive the care they need. And it is in that direction that the President provided for in 2025 resources for us to begin to meet the gap. The gap is there, but we are stepping up because we have the responsibility to take care of the health of Nigerians. And BHCPF is one line item for the primary healthcare platform, which pays for the primary healthcare system, the frontline health workers, but there are also the commodities and test kits for tuberculosis.
This particular session, we came up with a re-conclusion to accelerate the revitalization of primary healthcare, health financing, and other interventions.
The Basic Healthcare Provision Fund's Ministerial Oversight Committee is for the review of the program and indicates progress made to addressing gaps in the nation's health sector. The federal government is upholding transparency and accountability as vital tools that will steer productivity in organization. Director General, National Productivity Center, MPC, Bafa Baba Dan Agundi, and officials from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation made the point at the capacity building on international public sector accounting standards for accountants and auditors of MPC. Joseph Otsen reports.
Progression in any enterprise can only be assessed where there is transparency and accountability. This conviction has prompted the National Productivity Center to collaborate with the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation to build capacity of accountants and auditors of the center in line with the current financial system of the federal government.
Before, agencies were sent monies to handle their activities. Now the new system is for you to upload whatever your expenses are, and then releases will be made to you. And all is in the process of the current administration fight corruption.
The training streamlines important features of working with budget and disclosing alternative sources of funding in preventing suspicion and indictments.
When your budget is prepared, maybe you got grants or aid, or you have revenue which you are allowed to spend. If you do not disclose it as a supplementary budget, your expenditure from the budget will be higher than the real budget. Abi? Where you have other source of fund other than the budget, which is legitimate, disclose it.
A lot of new ideologies, principles, and strategies that are being implemented into the accounting system. So you have to go back and have a look at all those things and look at how we can really program it into the accounting functions.
Apart from building capacity of these accountants and auditors, the Productivity Center hopes to keep its books clean and accessible. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
We apologize for blanks in parts of that report. This is the News Desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Here is a recap of our top stories. Okay, we'll now continue with the news. Nigeria and Mexico are strengthening collaboration in the development of livestock industry for the mutually benefit of the two countries. The truth came to the fore when the Mexican ambassador to Nigeria, Alfredo Miranda, paid a visit to the Ministry of Livestock Development. Yusuf Yika reports.
This is the second engagement between the Minister of Livestock Development and the Mexican ambassador to Nigeria within 5 weeks, sharing knowledge and expertise on livestock development, with conversations centered on the transformational drive of the subsector through improved breeds, veterinary services, leather production technology, and optimizing other basic value chain outlets.
For the Mexican embassy is to share experiences, knowledge, to know the different problems in Nigeria, give us the opportunity to launch different projects.
We want to leverage on the experience to also develop the leather industry in Nigeria. Don't forget that Nigeria is about 250 million. For the shoe market alone, for the demographics, we have about 40 million primary school going children. That is a very huge market for any investor in leather research.
The Minister of Livestock Development later declared a stakeholders workshop on the role of pastoral association in promoting investments and reforms in the livestock sector.
That sector is about $32 billion value today, and we have been getting a lot of commitment from both local and international investors. This cannot happen until and unless we address very, very critical stakeholders in the name of this pastoral organization.
The workshop is expected to drive innovative solutions in transforming the industry access to funding, which is key to the advancement of the livestock ministry. In Abuja, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
And that concludes the News Desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Stella Inameti.